Hey everyone, welcome to the Reddit branch. Today we have interesting stories from Reddit that I would love to hear your opinion about. So feel free to let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for content like this every day. First story, am I the a-hole for wanting to sell our rental property? About 10 years ago, my husband got very short orders and we had about 45 days to move to a household of 2 adults, 3 children and a dog off the mainland. Under better circumstances, we would have put the house for sale and had everything wrapped up nicely before the move. But this was just too short of a notice, so we ended up hiring a property management company and renting it out. Of course, there have been issues, but while my husband was active duty military, it was all manageable. Last year, my husband retired and we have moved to our permanent estate, which is ours from the rental house area. I think we should sell the house. It's only getting older and the repairs are getting more and more expensive. We are looking down the barrel of a roof replacement, AC replacement, or major board repairs at the rental home. With the management fee, we aren't making any money at all. We are out of pocket for all repairs. It is in an amazing, desirable area with great schools and will sell quickly, but summer is prime sales time and the lease ends at the end of April. We can't purchase a bigger, nicer forever home until we sell this house, and my husband hates the house we're in currently and whines about it all the time, so why not sell? Well, we met the renters a couple of months ago, spoke for about 15 minutes while doing a minor repair, and they expressed interest in buying the home from us. Now, my husband refuses to consider selling it to anyone other than them and wants to keep renting it to them until they can manage to qualify to buy it, at least a year, because he thinks they're nice. I literally have no idea where this loyalty came from. Maybe he gives them his word or feels like he did. He's a really nice guy. Our deal right now is that he isn't allowed to talk about how much he hates our current house and I don't bring up selling the other house. But that can't last forever. I feel like he's being too nice and putting our family at a disadvantage in the meantime. He feels like I'm being selfish, so am I the a-hole here? People replied in the comments with, "You're not the a-hole, and you're better business person than your husband actually. If the current renters really want to buy the house, you need to get a lawyer, draw up a contract, get an appraisal, agree on a price, get some kind of a deposit, get some kind of an agreement on repairs going forward. That way you would know that you had an end date on selling the house and was moving forward with buying your forever house. If they won't agree to this, then you need to get the house on the market as soon as possible." It's hard to know if they're actually taking advantage of you or if they're really serious about buying the house, and there is only one way to find out. You're not the a-hole, it's your property, so sell it out if you can. However, looking at a roof replacement, board repairs, AC replacement repairs are all going to be found on the inspection. You will probably need to fix those issues before selling or price it low enough to sell. You're not the a-hole. How convenient for the renters. You replace the roof, AC and repair the pool and they might have the money a year from now. Send them a 30-day notice and contact the realtor. Don't plan your future in someone else's maybe. Now for my personal opinion, I don't think the poster is the a-hole here. She's thinking smartly on how to make the most out of her property. They could be taking advantage of her and that's why she should take steps towards selling the house. Next story, am I the a-hole for accusing my grandma of stealing my wallet? It all started this morning when my 42-year-old mom and I, 15 male, were leaving the house. My mom was already in the car waiting for me to get my shoes on, let the dog back in and take the trash out. Just when I finished putting on my shoes, my mom texts me a wallet. I assumed she meant for me to go find my wallet so I can bring it to her as I was in debt with her at the time. So I let the dog in from outside and started looking for the wallet. I couldn't find it. Now I'll take a break to provide some brief context. My brother, 23 male, has just gotten out of prison for drug charges. He used to steal to pay for his drugs and he hasn't won our trust back yet, so we have to hide our valuables from him. This includes my wallet. Last time I couldn't find my wallet, my grandma, 74 female, found it and kept it in her purse so it wouldn't get stolen. So this time I go up to her and ask, "Hey, did you take my wallet?" thinking she might have done it again, She got pissed, started angrily looking for it and telling me I always gotta prove my innocence with you. I asked her what she meant by that and she said I was accusing her of stealing. I said no, I wasn't, I just asked if you had it. She kept insisting I did and the whole thing escalated into a screaming match. My mom eventually came in, yelled at me for screaming, but I interrupted her to say that grandma was accusing me of accusing her of stealing. We eventually gave up and I took the trash out while my grandma said almost condescendingly, "Guess I'll look for it while you're gone." I wish this was the end of it. After coming home from the barber, lunch and the mall, we put away our things. As I was putting the shirt up, she came up behind me and said, "Did you ever find it?" I replied no. Well, I steal it, that's for sure. I looked around and I told her, I actually never accused you of this. I just asked if you had it. You did accuse me of this, what you said was accusatory. Well, if you found an innocent question accusing, then maybe you did steal it. My mom then yelled at me again and my grandma accused me of cussing her out even after calling me a witch. My mom told me to stop dragging this out and just let it die, but I told her she was the one who brought it up again, to which she responded, "Does it matter?" I stormed off, actually accusing them of trying to start fights, and went into my mom's room to type this all out because I just want to know if I really was accusing her. So Reddit, was I an a-hole by how I asked the question? Keep in mind I tried to ask in a neutral tone, but I guess I was slightly mad at losing things. People replied in the comments with, "You're not the a-hole. Your grandma really escalated that situation. You said you weren't accusing her for stealing it, not sure why she kept pushing it after that. Everyone sucks. You for expecting others to keep track of your things, your grandma for overreacting, and your mom for overreacting to your grandma's overreacting. You all need to learn to have civil discussions with each other." Now for my personal opinion, I sense an entitlement tone in the poster's way of telling what happened, but I don't think he was accusing his grandma of stealing, so I don't think he's the a-hole here. Next story, am I the a-hole for telling my sister-in-law she cannot make rules about what happens at my house? So, my 29-year-old wife and I, 26 male, are considered the fun aunt and uncle to our nieces and nephews. 12 female, 11 male, 9 male, 7 female, and 3 male. These are from my wife's side of the family. We do activities with the kids and play with them unlike the other aunts and uncles of the family. Even though we don't have kids yet, we keep a toy chest full of toys for the kids to play with and encourage the kids' interests. We also have craft stuff and we often, my wife, teaches educational lessons. In our house, we encourage the kids to be themselves, but we follow the rules their parents set for them. Sister-in-law 1 has always had a relaxed parenting style and the kids can be a little wild but know when they need to behave. We are very close to her children. Sister-in-law 2 has a 3-year-old who you will call Ali and has chosen a different approach to parenting. She's very strict and has many rules about what her child can do. The big thing is she doesn't want the child to see anything that's considered rough or angry, like the kids cannot play cups and rubbers in front of Ali, and I also got the older kids some padded blow-up fighting gear and they cannot use it if Ali is around. Also, forget Nerf guns or shooting at creepers on Minecraft. Forget football too. I understand her concerns and we adjust accordingly when Ali is around. This last weekend we had the family over and the older kids were playing tag and yelling at each other, and while I admit they were loud, I wouldn't say it was unreasonable. Sister-in-law 2 came out and said they need to stop yelling and she doesn't want Ali to learn to yell. I told her that they were fine and sister-in-law 1 agreed with me. She also wants us to stop doing rough activities even when Ali isn't around because she doesn't want him to feel left out. She also wants us to only use organic and gluten-free foods for the kids. I told her she does not dictate what we do with the other children when Ali isn't around, and she cannot expect the children to just sit and be quiet. She's saying I am isolating her child and that I'm an a-hole for not treating the kids equally. I told her we follow her rules with Ali, but her rules do not apply to the other children. Though a part of me knows that there are other things we could do, I hate putting restrictions on the other kids. So am I the a-hole for telling my sister-in-law she cannot make rules for what goes on in my house? People replied in the comments with, "You're not the a-hole. Her rules apply only to her kid. If she wants the kid to live in a wonderland, that's her problem, and unfortunately the kid problem too when life and reality shows up. You're not the a-hole. I get the football and Nerf guns, but you respect all that. What I don't get the yelling, snacks and tag." What does she think will happen when the kid gets to daycare, preschool or kindergarten? That kid won't be allowed or play tag? That all kids will eat the same snacks? That kids will never be a little hectic and crazy? Her not wanting her kid to learn to yell, or in my opinion be a kid, is weird. If Ali is a quiet child, that's perfectly fine. But doesn't sound like Ali will get a choice. You are respecting her rules when Ali is around, but you do not have to ruin the fun for the other kiddos, especially because their parents are for those gas-blowout activities anyways. You're not the a-hole. Your sister-in-law is out of line here. It's good for kiddos to different parenting styles to mix. No one is isolating her kiddo but her. You have been far more accommodating than most people. Someone should explain to her that if she continues in this vein, her child will not understand how to interact with people different than himself, and that's something really important. Now, for my personal opinion, that sister-in-law is very obnoxious. Who has kids when they cannot handle them being loud or too energetic? That's just how kids are. If her kid is all quiet, good for them, but that's not the usual or the norm. This concludes all the stories we have for this video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to share your opinions in the comment section down below. Until next time.